Skechers, really? Hello everybody. I was really curious about this shoe and I was really interested to see if I could run Miwok 100K. And as you have seen in the other movie, I have my favorite combination of shoe and it's all Hokas. Start with this Hoka Challenger ATR and maybe after 20, 30, 40 miles switched into this bomb-proof Stinsons. So 100K, can I do the same thing? Should I do anything differently? Should I try and run the whole thing with the Challenger? Should I start with the Stinsons and just forget about it? And then I thought, you know what? What if I go something intermediate? All this cushioning, I was really curious about seeing how it would work. And so I bought it. And I received it the day before the race. I took it out of the box. I put this on and I feel this sense of lightness. I was like, yay, Skechers! And I started jumping up and down the stairs, running from the living room to the kitchen, which is a total of 30 feet. I didn't have time to try it on trail before the race, but I felt that it was comfortable. The lightness feeling was not due to weight, but was due to flexibility. So if you look under, you'll see these 4 big ridges in the shoe. And so this is really helping to flex, and this shoe is really flexible. I mean, this is really super flexible if you think about the stack that it's under. If you compare it with, for example, with the Hoka Challenger, well, you know, it's a completely different story, and don't even try to really flex the Stinsons, right? The other thing that's interesting is that it's not only flexible along the length, but these ridges are so deep that actually there's a torsion flexibility into the shoe. Would this be a good thing in a trail race or not? Well, definitely was a good thing on my feet at the moment. Let's talk about construction. I mean, this is a serious shoe company. They have all these inserts in the front and in the back. They have all these layovers here. And lining all the way. You put your hand inside, you can feel the liner, and here is a white liner. I don't know if you can see it. Let me shed some light on it. And then there is a blue liner on the tongue, and there is same of the blue liner on the side, in the back. Definitely great construction. Obviously there's a consequence to this, as we will see, which is the weight. The other thing that I noticed is these holes on the side, and also on the other side. There is definitely a system here where there is a net. And under the net there are some channels, and so water is just flowing into those channels, and I guess the idea is coming out outside from these holes. So all good points thus far. Comfort, flexibility, well constructed. It's time to talk about weight. And they're all size 11. The Challenger is 295 grams. This is 335, 40 grams of difference. And the Stinson 386, 50 grams between this and this. You feel the difference between these two a lot. This is pretty comparable to the Challenger, although it's somewhere in the middle, obviously. All this material is adding some weight, but that's not a deal breaker. Traction is pretty much equivalent, as you can see here, at least in my opinion. So let's get to the most important part, right? The race impressions. So I started racing Miwok 100K in these shoes. I felt that they did a good job initially, uphill, but then when it came the downhill, what I felt is that all this flexibility was resulting actually in ankle twisting, and so that's a deal breaker for me for the shoe. The other thing I noticed that after a while, after like maybe 20 miles, I felt that I needed even more cushioning and to finish the race. I could have ran in this, but it would have been more painful, and that's when I switched to the Stinsons. So bottom line, I think that it's definitely a great shoe. I recommend you try it. For me personally, when I go into races, I will stick to the combination of starting with the Challenger and then at some point starting to the Stinson. Well, bottom line, great shoe, great construction, really liked it, great flexibility. That flexibility though leads to me to an unstable shoe on uneven terrain. So I'll stick to the Hokas for now for races, but definitely this is a great shoe to try and to go for long runs on weekends. See you next time. Thanks for listening.